Hey Dave, Wolfman Jeff here. I'm not on the porch. I'm at Fado's in Atlanta with
Here we are.
Andrew from Atlanta Wolves. So we came out here. We got a chance to watch the game together. And what do you think there, Andrew?
Well, something's wrong. 8 goals conceded. We know where the problems lie. Gary, if you've ever watched this, please get this fixed. We've got too many lanes that are way open. Too many the opponents are just cutting through us way too easily. Get that fixed. Otherwise, 2 goals, not too bad. Otherwise, very poor performance.
Now, there was some substitutions were decent. I think bringing Huang in obviously made a huge difference. But I think the subs came in later. I'm surprised that some of the players stayed in. I was expecting Semedo to go out earlier. It looks like he was pushing for a second yellow.
Yes, for sure.
I was kind of worried. I realized we're in transition. Even though we're glad Nunez is gone, even though he never lived up to his potential, he was one of our more talented midfielders, so he'd make the adjustments. But what I'm kind of bothered with, Andrew, is our lack of fight. Once we got down, once they got that second goal, it seemed like we just clocked out.
Just gave up. Yeah, we just, heads go down, players give up, no fight. I don't know what's going on. It's just very disappointing at the moment.
If it was that last goal by us was I enjoyed that, thank you. But up until that point, it felt like we were just clocked out and we were just waiting for the game to end. And it's nothing. I don't want to knock Palace, but Palace is not Liverpool. You know, they're not Man City. They're not even Brighton.
Yes.
But we made them look like top of the league.
Yes, exactly.
So I know Gary O'Neill came in the last moment, but he's got a lot of work to do. And the last question I have about Gary is, how in the world did you guys come up with the nickname Daz for Gary? What is that about?
Who knows?
Who knows? All right, onward, upward. International break couldn't come quick enough.
Always Wolves.
Hello Wolves fans, this is Dinny here in Cork in Ireland, and I'm not happy this week, not like last week when we beat Everton. This week was a loss, and it's hard to take because the performance was poor. Sometimes you don't mind losing, especially away from home, when the performance is good or decent, but that was pretty bad. I think the first half did go Wolves' way. I threw into the WhatsApp group there, the old international fans group, that it was a lot of ticky-tack at the edge of the box and things like that instead of just being clinical. I thought Silva was very off it in the first half, and obviously Wolves have problems putting the ball in the net anyway, and when your number 9 is having an off day, in my opinion anyway, he was having an off day, you're always going to struggle, and struggle they did. On to the second half then, and all the goals started coming in. And it was all Palace, really. It was all Palace. So Wolves did not deserve to win. They didn't deserve the draw. Good to get 2 more goals, I guess. Good to see a couple of goals flying in. I'm glad to see Pedro Neto out on the left. I'm glad Gary O'Neill watched the IFR last week and heard me saying play him on the left. So thanks for that, Gary. Just in terms of tactics and just patterns of play, I felt the same against Everton last week, that there was no real pattern to it. I can't see where the style of play is yet. But it is still early days, I suppose. If you take a big step back from it and look at it, it is still early days. Because of the loss, I'm going to give the game a 5 out of 10. Very hard to pick a man of the match. Just in that first half, I thought Lamina did really well. Breaking up the play and just kind of, I thought the Palace midfield was going to be checking under their bed tonight to make sure Lamina wasn't there, because he was all over everybody in the first half. Just disappointing. And look, onwards and upwards, international break now, and an easy one after that then against Liverpool, I believe. So onwards and upwards. Oh my god. Take care, everyone.
Hi everyone, it's Elsa from Parma here. It's not easy being a Wolves fan right now. I'm very disappointed, as I think we all are. 4 matches, 3 losses and only 3 points grabbed against Everton last week. And it's getting worse match after match. We look so disinterested in playing, and it doesn't matter if we're playing at Molineux or away. Looks like we're playing because we have to, not because we want to. It's like it's match day, we have to spend 90 minutes on a pitch. There was a time where we wanted to win, we wanted it all. Now it's like passing the ball, ball possession, a lot of fouls. Jesus Christ, how many yellow cards? Doesn't even look like a team, looks like 11 person on pitch. Trying to spend 90 minutes. Lack of cooperation unless it's a free kick or a corner. But right now I really don't see a solid team. I see a team, maybe not one of the best. I'm honest, I'm a bit of a concerned right now. Today we believed we could grab a point, but it didn't last long. So yeah, another defeat. Next one is at home. Sorry, I'm laughing because I actually wanted to cry, but next one is at home against Reds, who just won against Aston Villa. At least they lost as well. Anyway, next one at home against Reds. We're gonna lose that one. I'm not even saying let's hope for the 3 points. I'm not even hoping for 1. But I really do hope they will use these 2 weeks, because we're not playing the next one, to make up their minds and trying to figure out what is wrong, because there is definitely something wrong. Having said that, good afternoon, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. See you all for the match against Reds. Bye.
Hey Dave New York Wolves here down in Cabo San Lucas in Mexico. I put my retro Raul shirt on, but obviously didn't bring us much luck. I feel like I'm gonna say stuff that I've said 100 times before. We played well, we were a good team, we were for large parts of the game, we were the better team and dominant, but we couldn't score and we lost. I mean, how many times have we said that? You know, I think, you know, Semedo's been playing really well, Sarr pulled off a couple of nice saves, but also almost gifted them a goal. Lamina and Gomez in midfield are really tenacious. I think some of the passing was a little off today. Neto's getting back to his best. Hwang is always a threat. He's not the greatest player we've got, but he knows where the goal is, and that's what we need. And, you know, on that point, I think it's really the goal scoring problem. I feel like we haven't actually solved that. You know, Fabio and Sasha, I know it's early days and we can't be judging them yet, but, you know, Fabio's still not quite the finished article and needs a couple of goals and a couple of good performances to get his confidence up. And Sasha, you know, he's had a horrible injury and hasn't really had a chance to show what he can do in the Premier League yet. So my concern is that, you know, if those two don't do what we need them to and chip in with goals, then we're right back where we were last season, unfortunately. And you look at Palace's 3 goals, and, you know, it seems like they were all goals that we would never score. You know, Edouard sticks his foot in at the near post. I'm not sure how he was able to get between both of our central defenders, but we don't do that. We don't sort of gamble, make a run and stick a foot in. Same with the second goal. You know, it bounced around a little bit and Eze stuck his foot out. The third goal was, you know, he was covered, but he just did a little move and got a quick shot off. Those are all things that we don't do, and I think that's a big part of why we don't score enough. And that's the problem we've got to fix, because, you know, it's fine margins. You know, you can't argue that Palace were clearly the better team and deserved a comfortable victory. I know it was only by 1 goal, but our second was right at the end. That's not how this game went. It was, if we'd scored when we were on top in the first half, that's a totally different game, right? And those are the fine margins in the Premier League that we've got to really adjust. So, not overly worried right now. I think it's a new team with a lot of new players, new manager, so it's going to take time to sort everything out. Really excited with the end of the transfer window, getting the funds in for Nunes and bringing in some what looked like pretty promising players. So I don't think, it's only 4 games in. We got 3 points. We're in 15th. It looks like Burnley, Sheffield United, Everton and Luton are probably the 3 from 4 that are going to go down. So as long as we keep picking up some points and stay away from the relegation zone, I think we'll be safe. But it's going to be an unpleasant season, I think. But anyway, on to the next one. It's only Liverpool, so that's great, isn't it? Mate, see you soon.
To be honest, we didn't deserve to get any points from today's game against Crystal Palace because we weren't show any eager to get any points. We weren't good at team defense. We weren't good at attacking. Yes, we are scoring, but we need to do more and control the game. But just some positions or some by chance, I guess, we found scores. But in the same time, we easily give them to shoot or give the positions and let them to play in our defense area. That's why after we scored the first goal by Hwang, after that he came to defense, and it's not his job. Something still very big missing in the game. Well, first half wasn't good, wasn't bad. It was okay, but I expected much more in the second half. But biggest disappointment after watch the second half of the game. Well, after the new players joined the team and play in training, hopefully we will be much better than now. But still need to do more and more, because if we continue to play such style again, even against Crystal Palace, we don't have any chance to stay in Premier League. I can't see any good things in the game and for future, to be honest. And I don't know why, but still need to work very hard, and even coach should improve himself as well, like as team. So hopefully you're having a nice Sunday, and take care of you.
Hey Dave, Noah here from Chicago, Illinois. So it ends Palace 3, Wolves 2. Looks a bit closer in the end than one would think. Palace, they really picked it up in the second half, and we looked completely inferior, and they were definitely the better side. Eze just continues to torture us, continues to torture Gary O'Neill in particular. He scored, I think, 3 goals against O'Neill when he is the manager. So, Dawson did not have a great game, I think. Early on, he was looking okay, and then as the game went on, he just completely fell flat. And Kilman was simply okay. For once, Semedo did well not to pick up a second yellow, which I was very surprised. I really thought he was going to pick up a second yellow, because that just seems like Semedo in a nutshell. But overall, I did also see some positive signs, I think. Cunha got a goal. Hee-Chan Hwang comes on again. Hwang has come off the bench 2 times, scored 2 times. And, he's looked good each time he's come off the bench. And once again, Pedro Neto getting the assist. He has looked pretty good so far to start the season, I'd say. But this game was no exception. He gets 2 assists, and his ball into the box has been spectacular so far. So he is my man of the match. He has looked very good, particularly in this game. And then overall match rating, I would have to give it a 5.5, nothing more. Pretty poor from us overall, and we need to start putting points on the board after the international break, especially since we're at home. And getting those 1-0 wins at home will be very cool again. Always sending love and prayers to you and your family. Hope the funeral goes well, and always Wolves.
This is Chris from Eidsvoll in Norway, speaking after what was actually a tough afternoon at Selhurst Park, wasn't it? Which a game that we lost 3-2. In reality, it was 3-1 until very late in the game, and I think we'll have to say that was probably the 3-2 1-goal margin probably really gives a false impression on the game, and particularly the second half. The way I would say, and the way I saw the game was, I was quite happy with the way we started, and I thought we were very, very competitive first half without creating too much. I thought we were well in the game. I thought our midfield was dominant, which isn't always the case when we go away to Crystal Palace. And at half time, I was okay. Now, what's happened today is in some ways a carbon copy of what happened a couple of weeks ago against Brighton, which is our opponents come out at the start of the second half, and they are much more assertive and in the ascendancy than we are. And we were very, very poor second half. It was very worrying actually at times. I do think actually there's a few things with this team that actually isn't working at the moment. I think, I have to say, I've said it before, Sarabia, he's obviously a technically good and talented player, but another game where I just don't see what his contribution is on the pitch. For one, I thought Kuna was pretty poor today, apart from the end. He scored at the end, but look, it didn't make any difference. Doesn't matter, does it, really? The two central defenders were way off it today. I thought for a lot. But let's consider another thing. I think maybe substitutions cost us. Now, at 1-1, we took Fabio off, we took a striker off, and they put a striker on. And I think that made all the difference. Not that it was Fabio's best game, however, he does keep the central defenders and the defensive midfielders occupied with his tireless running. And I really think that handed the initiative to Crystal Palace. And that was the main reason. Their substitutions worked quite well, as did not, I feel. Now, the positive, if you can call it that in a way, is that we've got 4 new players to come in and to be integrated. But I'm really, in this kind of review of a game, as a supporter, you lose a game and there are no positives. I don't like it when people say take the positives. I've also going to take the positives. There are none. We didn't get any points. So I won't go down that road. I think it's wrong. It annoys when people do that. Now, that was a bad day. I still think this team is going to be okay in the long run. But I wonder if that's mainly due to the fact that they're probably 3 worse teams than us. There's a lot of unknowns at the moment. That worries me a little bit. No, today wasn't good. It's not a nice way to spend a Sunday, and as we all know, it does unfortunately negatively impact the week we're all going to have, doesn't it?
Brighton, Thailand, we got beat 3-2 at Palace. Game finished about 15 minutes ago. First 13 minutes I thought we did all right. We retained possession and we was on the front foot, and then all of a sudden 15 minutes I think we was lucky not to give away a penalty. Well, I think Joe Gomez upended Eze, went to VAR, and it wasn't given. I thought it was a penalty. And then soon after that, Jose Zah nearly did his normal thing, put us into trouble, and Max Kilman cleared it off the line. First half, not many chances, but we're still in the game, I suppose, even Stevens. But the second half, they seemed to get the better of us in midfield, and they took the lead. Was it poor defending? I don't know. But we got back on level terms soon after that with Hangy Chang off his shoulder, equalised, and then soon after that, we just went a rat shit. And I mean, it was non-existent in the midfield and defending. My God almighty. Poor defending, but their 2 goals, their second and third. There's and Edouard, he got his second. We got a consolation goal, but it's going to be a long old season this season. I just hope the 4 players that we brought in, some of them are better than we've already got. Stay safe everyone, bye bye.